buzz around Major League Cricket, isn't it? Well, we have heard a lot about it in the recent days. And recently, a historic draft came out wherein a plenty of current and former international cricketers were picked by the teams for the tournament scheduled between 13th and 30th of July. But there's a lot of chaos over there. And to discuss all about it, today we'll discuss things that are related to USA cricket, Major Leagues cricket, and a lot more with K. Srinivas Rao, Network 18 Group Sports Editor. But before that, let me give you a brief about it. So recently, the International Cricket Council had shot up an email where it said that the members of the ICC are urged not to issue any NOC, which means no objection certificate, to its players for MLC, Major League Cricket, and MILC, Minor League Cricket. Now, earlier this month, in ICC's quarterly meeting, USA Cricket had asked for a bit of time to resolve its internal mess. Now, what was that mess? Was that economical? Was that political? Or all of it? And to have all those answers and to give all the details, I have with me Srini here, who always gives us all the inside details as well. Hello, Srini. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Surama.
So, Srini, I just want to know what's the turmoil because we have been hearing about Major League Cricket of late and USA Cricket, and few episodes before in this series only we had talked about how USA landed up with the rights for ICC T20 World Cup that's slated to happen next year. So, what is the whole issue about?
All right. So let's get three things out of the way first, right? Three
Okay.
of the any sport, not just cricket, any sport. But since we are talking about cricket, let's stick to cricket here. There are three of the games. Any cricket has three big stakeholders. Okay, I'll rather say the only three stakeholders.
Mm,
Number one, those who play the game.
mm,
Number two, those who watch the game. Right.
mm,
Number three, people who ensure that me, the fan, can sit at home and watch it, right?
mm,
Which is obviously, people who broadcast the sport, the cameramen who sweat, who stand in under the sun all day, following that ball second by second, microsecond by millisecond, right?
yeah.
Three people who ensure that this ecosystem ticks. Everything outside of this ecosystem is a crowd, right?
Mm,
If we were having this discussion 50 years ago, 25 years ago, I would have said only two stakeholders matter: those who play the game, those who watch the game.
mm,
Post turn of the century, cricket as a sport, as an economy, as a business has grown multifold, and that is why the third stakeholder becomes equally important, which is
mm,
the the broadcaster who's bringing the game to your drawing room, to your living room, right?
mm.
The problem with US cricket has to do with everybody outside of these three stakeholders,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Cricketers के साथ problem है. Is there a problem with cricketers? No. Is there a problem with those who watch the game? No. Is there a
Mm.
problem with people who are actually making an effort to capture the game and give it to the viewers? No. So then where's the problem?
Mm.
Obviously, then the problem is with people who don't necessarily belong. They
Yeah.
want
Right.
to belong, they want to belong, and in that whole urge in wanting to belong, politics is brewing.
Mm.
Why? Because everybody, you know what? There cannot be a controversy without a selfish interest. You give me a controversy and I will show you a selfish interest.
Mm.
Right? So there cannot be a
Yeah.
controversy without a selfish interest. So right now, what I'm trying to point out here is that unwanted elements in US cricket, or people who don't really, who think they are important to the game, whereas they are not, their
Mm.
petty politics is bringing uh, a space trouble which otherwise potentially has a great future.
Mm. Yeah. So, Srini, we have come across a lot many things so far, and I just want to know that first thing first, how ICC landed up giving the rights to America. Okay, we haven't heard of cricket matches.
Yeah, continue. I mean, like, I'm so
Okay.
happy you brought up this question. I'm so happy you brought this question up. Please ask me, and well, ask
Yeah.
me, and I'm happy to answer this. Yes, go on, go on.
So we
You're going to
haven't
add to that?
we yeah, so we haven't seen cricket matches in America, and then we saw the news that okay, America will be co-hosting the ICC T20 Men's World Cup 2024. It was a big news, but now here comes the catch. Why and how did this even happen?
You know what? This is this question, okay, is as complicated as Albert Einstein's E is equal to mc square, the theory of relativity. As
Hmm.
intelligent an answer that had to be, somebody has to come up with as intelligent an answer here to help me understand what exactly is this ICC's urge to give a World Cup to America. I'll ask, I'll point out. Does the country have first class cricket? No. Does the country ever
No.
invested in first class cricket? No. Does the country have first class infrastructure? No. Does the country have any infrastructure? No. Does the country have a futuristic idea in terms of bringing first class cricket and infrastructure together? No. Does the country have any history to do with sport other than the fact that they registered as an associate member? No. Does the country have anything to do with, having a bilateral history to it? No. You know what the country has? The country has Wall Street. And
Yeah.
everybody wants to go because it's the Wall Street that's charming them, not the destination because some American sitting there has love for the game. No, to be honest, the ICC should in fact do a workshop in America to help them understand how baseball is different from cricket. They need to understand for the next 5 years how exactly is baseball different from cricket. They need to have physics classes there. I've said this on my Twitter handle also that how is cricket different from baseball? Physics, right? The only difference is in cricket the ball lands on the surface and after that physics takes over, right?
Yeah.
Swing does everything. Aerodynamics get involved. Physics does the magic in cricket. It's a cerebral sport. I'm sorry, Americans, but it's a slightly intelligent sport. The point is, let me come back to kind of the this conversation that we're having. Even I'm trying to understand what exactly was the ICC thinking when this World Cup was offered to America. As I said, is there infrastructure? No. Where are you going to play the matches, by the way? ICC has so proudly said that we are giving 17 matches to US, right, to host. So where
Yeah.
exactly are these 17 matches going to be hosted? Right now, from what I understand, not what I understand, what I know is that
Hmm.
outside of Florida, Fort Lauderdale, where India and West Indies have played bilaterals, outside of
Hmm.
Fort Lauderdale in Florida, there is no infrastructure available in America to host
Hmm.
any international cricket game. Forget a World Cup. How
Yeah.
exactly does the ICC want to trivialize this? Of all the events in cricket anywhere in the world, you thought a tournament as important as the World Cup can be given to a country where the local cricket board doesn't exist, where they have been fighting, where they can't get along, where there are no stadiums, where there is no infrastructure, where ICC doesn't even have a proper line of funding. So what exactly is the ICC up to here? Somebody needs to file a bloody complaint and a case in court to take these guys and make them answer some serious questions. This is, let me put it on record, a circus. This is a circus. And I
Hmm.
shudder to imagine that the stakeholders of ICC, those who are putting in serious money there, they don't even want to ask them any questions. Which means
Hmm.
what? It makes me think that there is something really sinister out here. Or you take my questions, you answer my questions. I have asked questions to
Hmm.
ICC steadfastly. Okay, CricketNext recently did a story, said
Yeah.
that America has been ripped off its hosting rights.
Yeah.
ICC sends a reply saying no, they are co-hosts. Why? They will host
Hmm.
17 matches.
Yeah.
I was so tired, and I was telling my colleague who was, who's excited about knowing and understanding this. I said, what will you write back to them? Because the questions are so basic. Where are you going to host the matches, play the matches? Where are you going to play
Yeah.
them? There are no answers. They don't want to give answers. You know what? I asked the ICC, where exactly are you going to play? They say, ask the West Indies Cricket Board. So, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I have this on record. I have it on record, and I'm like thinking, what are these people up to? And the sick bit, is that this so-called cricket media everywhere in
Hmm.
the world,
Hmm.
who think they really are evolved enough to ask the big picture questions, they don't want
Hmm.
to question the ICC. I saw a writer
Yeah.
recently who, I mean, I don't want to take names here. I saw a very accomplished writer who was in India
Hmm.
recently, and
Hmm.
he chose to write a high flying column on India's political establishment. Right? Wow, man,
Hmm.
you are very intelligent. I give it to you. You are a historian. You are an accomplished writer. I'm not saying this. The world says this. Everybody acknowledges that this writer is a seriously accomplished writer. Yes, so when you can pick some such important questions, why don't you take some time out to ask this ICC? What exactly
Yeah.
are they up to? You know, and well, this is where I'm coming from. And the ICC is getting away because no serious questions are being asked. And through this medium, through this show, I would like to ask and tell the ICC, give me answers. What is happening in America? How
Yeah.
exactly have you given the World Cup to them?
Yeah.
I don't have answers, Ramya. I really don't have answers because they're so closed door.
Yeah. And earlier this month they had bagged time from ICC to clear their internal mess, and now you see this whole thing going around Major League Cricket as well. And amidst that, there is also another news that in USA we might watch India Pakistan match, and as you just talked about that there is no infrastructure available. So is this even a relevant question, or is this even a relevant
Yeah.
topic to discuss
Why?
about that? Okay,
I
we
am.
listen to a
I'm.
big match.
I. I have a very basic question here. Why exactly would you want to harm cricket? Why exactly would you want to harm cricket's greatest property by taking it to a location? Does it cater to India or Pakistan? No, it doesn't. Does it
Hmm.
cater to any other market properly at prime time? Probably not. Right?
Hmm.
If you really want that India versus Pakistan, if it is not showing in India or in Pakistan between 6 o'clock in the evening and 10 o'clock at night, does it really make any sense? It doesn't, right? And for
Yeah.
that to happen, you literally have to play that match in America at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the morning, right? Which is not
Hmm.
going to happen. Who exactly are you fooling here? Where is
Yeah.
the economics of the game gone for a toss? It's a shame that the broadcaster who is giving top dollar for World Cups, like for events like these, is not asking basic questions. Neither the broadcaster wants to ask media answer the media questions. Neither ICC wants to answer the media properly. This chairman of this ICC, I challenge him, Mr. Greg Barclay. I challenge him. Come and answer my questions. There have been email exchanges between me and Greg Barclay.
Okay.
He's promised me an email that he's going to look into certain issues. I don't know what is happening. It's a circus. I'm asking a very simple question. How exactly are you going to host an India versus Pakistan match in America? Do you know what happened in 2000? There have been two ICC events in the West Indies, in the Caribbean, right? And why I'm
Hmm.
giving you an example of the Caribbean is because America and Caribbean, somewhat similar time zones, right?
Yeah.
The 2007 World Cup was held in the Caribbean, and the 2050 World Cup, and the 2010 T20 World Cup was held in the West, right?
Hmm.
So the 2007 World Cup, well, India, we all know historically, got out of the tournament in the first round itself. That horrifying and shocking loss to Bangladesh, we got out, right? That World
Yeah.
Cup turned out to be a disaster because India got out of the tournament in the first round itself. But leave that aside. Outside of that, I want anybody who follows this economics of the game, or rather has followed the business of the game for the last 25, 30 years, to come and answer this very simple question to me. Did you earn from those two World Cups in the Caribbean? Right? So now there are some gentlemen or some followers of the game who are going to come on this show here, and who are going to come and make a comment saying, no, no, everything is not for money. Right? Okay, everything is not for money. It's also about promoting the game, right? So you
Yeah.
want to promote the game in the leading first world nation of the world, of the of the globe, America.
Mm.
You don't want to take promote this game in African countries. You don't want this to promote this game in Nepal.
Yeah, you see Nepal,
Has
right?
anybody
The recent
exactly
matches. Yeah,
exactly? So has
that has
anybody been
actually
watching?
broken the records.
So you don't want to promote the game in these countries. You want to promote the game in a country which doesn't need your money,
Hmm.
which doesn't really. Does America need anybody's funding? Tell me.
No,
It doesn't.
absolutely not.
It's
It's
a
the
it's a
leading
self
nation.
sufficient. Exactly my point. So you want to put money there at any cost. Imagine there is no local cricket association there. Where is
Hmm.
ICC's money going? To who is the money
Yeah.
going? And I'm telling you, this ICC is planning something. And I'll say this now so that they have it in mind that I know it. They are planning to put a local organizing committee in America from a World Cup
Okay.
perspective. Yeah.
Okay.
And that is how they are going to like kind of make things happen, right? That's not the right way. That is
Hmm.
not the right way. This is, mildly put, it stinks of a, it stinks, it comes across like some sort of a scam. It may or may not be, I don't know, but there is no clarity. There is no vision here,
Hmm.
right? For the last 5, 7 years, the cricket board, local cricket association of US has been fighting. There has been no one cricket board. They
Yeah.
have been fighting like cats and dogs. There is no proper association office bearers in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to ask ICC another question. Who made a pitch for the world? Did somebody from America come to you and say, look,
Hmm.
I have a PowerPoint presentation. I want to make a pitch
Hmm.
for the World Cup. Did anybody do that? I want to know who that is. I really want to.
Hmm. Yeah.
Well,
So there are
these are the
two
questions.
things, Srini. You pointed out that USA is fighting with their own internal mess, and as far as I know, that USA Cricket's CEO had stepped down after 5 months tenure, and then the seat is vacant right now. And just before the World Cup, I mean, there might be people who think that it's 2024, but it's just 2024. It's just few months down the line. If you see, so
Of course.
you are going to host a big tournament, and you don't have a CEO.
I was speaking to a friend in US very recently, and I asked him, "Arey, what about that ground in Denver? Because ICC is talking about that Denver wala ground." So I was asking,
Hmm.
"What about the ground in Denver? How ready is it?" You know what the guy tells me? Because he's from Mumbai, so he understands our customs and everything. So he's like, "Sir, यहाँ पे तो किसी ने आके नारियल भी नहीं तोड़ा है." So to for our viewers in English who can't understand what I'm saying, this guy said nobody's even come for a coconut groundbreaking ceremony here, right? It is that kacha, it is that this thing. So there's no
Yeah.
work happening nowhere. The infrastructure. I really want to know where exactly are these 17 matches ICC is going to host? Where? Acha, the funny thing is, I asked ICC. I mean, where exactly are we going to? Is America the host? Yeah, they're the co-hosts. They'll be
Hmm.
hosting matches.
Hmm.
Hosting matches, or are they the co-hosts? There's a difference
Yeah.
between
There's a difference.
hosting
Yeah.
matches and being a co-host. You can host a match in Bahamas in the middle of the ocean. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Are you the co-host? And if you are the co-host, then on what grounds are you the co-host? You don't even have a local association. So
Yeah.
questions are endless, endless.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, giving the co-hosting rights to America also negates ICC's model of developing cricket in the countries that they want to. ICC always says that we want to develop, cricket in such kind of countries. But then there
Yeah.
are countries or places like, Nepal, and we were just talking about it, and
Oh
that
no
has
no
been.
no no not Nepal. They want to develop cricket in Manhattan. Not Nepal. Oh God, no, no. So I'm asking the same question. Why do you want to go to America and develop cricket? Is America a country which is deprived of sport? Is America a country which is deprived of sporting development? They are everywhere. They have some. They have the greatest leagues ever seen created by mankind. They have NFL, the granddaddy of all leagues. They have NBA,
Exactly.
the second granddaddy of all leagues. They have MLB, one of the top five granddaddy of all leagues. Right?
Yeah.
So if you are going to this country and you are saying, no, no, listen, Arey Garib Admi, I will give sport to you. I will tell you how to develop sport. Why do you want to develop sport there? If they had to develop cricket, they would have developed it by now, no?
Yeah,
Maybe their
exactly.
priorities are different. Why are you it's like and wahan pe in Africa there is a country sitting like ICC, please help me. No, 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 no. I'm busy with
Mm.
Manhattan, you know. I have to develop cricket in Manhattan. Nepal, Kathmandu, people are like hanging on a tree to watch a cricket
Please.
match, telling ICC, sir, please give me a chair to sit. No, 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 I'm busy. I'm developing cricket in Manhattan. I'm developing cricket in Los Angeles. What the
Yeah.
hell? And by the way, you are using this money to develop cricket in Manhattan. Whose money is it?
Hmm.
Whose money is it? Which market is this money coming from? These ICC
This
guys,
is the.
I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
I'll put a challenger. I'll put a
Okay.
challenge to the ICC. Sit across the table and have a conversation with me and let's telecast this. Take
Hmm.
a dozen questions from me. Take one dozen questions from me. The chairman of the ICC goes around giving interviews to,
Hmm.
various newspapers and they ask him lovely things like, where do you think this T20 headed, sir?
Hmm.
What is the future of T20 cricket?
Hmm.
No. What is the future of cricket? Come sit with me. I'll ask you questions. So,
Hmm.
a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big question because as we talked about the African countries, we also talked about, Nepal and other countries, they really want cricket to be there. But Shini, I want to know what is BCCI's take on it? And also, if we see global cricket fraternity as a whole, what are their reactions to this whole topic going around?
So BCCI was doing all the right things until 2014-15. Okay. They
Okay.
they really wanted a good watchdog, keeping an eye on what is happening in America. And it's a big market. Remember,
Hmm.
futuristically, it's a great market. So the
Hmm.
BCCI was trying to until there was a change of power in ICC, and there was a
Hmm.
change of power. The guy who went on to then head ICC, personal political um, uh, you know priorities came to the fore, and in doing so, politics completely took over
Hmm.
the establishment. And now there is no cricket. I can tell you, the first independent chairman of the ICC, Mr. Shashank Manohar,
Hmm.
he's from the same city as I come. I was born and brought up in Nagpur. Used to live 2 kilometers. He still lives 2 kilometers away from the house where I was born. Right? His
Hmm.
contribution to cricket outside of business of cricket, outside of the game itself, outside of how cricket, what good things should happen for the game. Outside of that, his contribution has been everything. His contribution to the game is understanding the politics of the game. That's what makes him a great administrator. He understands the politics of world cricket like no other human being ever born on this planet. Okay, he understands the politics of the game perfectly. Outside the politics, I don't think any decision that he has taken has helped the game. I'll give you an example. In Indian cricket, he was the one to terminate Kings 11 Punjab and Rajasthan Royals from IPL. They both won the
Okay.
court case, came back.
Hmm.
He was the one to terminate Kochi Tuskers. They went into arbitration, they won it.
Yeah.
He was the one to there was an auction held and there's something happened, some stakeholders came into the cricket, he was the one to get them on board, they went out.
Hmm.
Everything that he has done in cricket administration as an administrator, the opposite of that has prevailed.
Okay.
I reminded him, he doesn't talk to me. because I
Oh.
reminded him. Yeah, yeah. Because I reminded him this, he doesn't. So my point is to ask questions, and I'm going to ask questions.
Hmm.
This man is responsible for a political change at the ICC. He's quit ICC, went away without answering questions.
Hmm.
Whose game is it? What were you responsible for? What did you bring to the table? I'm hopeful that this current BCCI dispensation now will correct all the wrong that has happened. And my pitch is that this dispensation needs to look into the past so as to
Hmm.
understand where you need to head into the future. And
Yeah.
hopefully they do it. I mean, hopefully I've stopped expecting things from BCCI, honestly. But yeah, hopefully they do the right things.
Yeah.
People who follow me say that think that all I do as a career reporter is just I'm in love with BCCI. No, I do ask questions. Problem is they don't answer.
Yeah. That's a big thing. But Srini, wrapping up all these things, let's also talk about MLC a bit. I just want to know one thing because there are so many roadblocks for Major League Cricket. I mean, obviously, people were quite excited because they saw some names there, Indian names as well, and big names also from the cricket world. Some leading cricketers were drafted. But now ICC has said not to give NOC, and such roadblocks are happening with MLC, and then few months later we'll be having a T20 World Cup as well. How do you see all these developments happening right now, and what will it lead to?
So let's go back to the number one point that we had in this very conversation, where I said there are three people who matter, three stakeholders who matter: those who play the game,
Hmm.
those who watch the game, and those who facilitate the game. And when you
Hmm.
talk about Major League Cricket, the people who founded and gave birth to this idea belong to the third stakeholding aspect, where they are
Yeah.
facilitating. They are the ones who have been at the forefront of something good wanting to happen in America, right? They are
Hmm.
the ones who obviously they are not doing this as some honorary administrator. They have put money from their own pocket, right? For example, I give
Hmm.
you Times Group, Times of India Group, the owners of Times of India, Mr. Vinny Jain, and the vice chairman of Times Internet, Mr. Satyan Gajwani, right? They they have personally invested their wealth. They have personally invested their money and time and energy into good things happening for cricket in America. Willow TV
Hmm.
is their idea.
Okay.
Taking cricket to the viewers in America is their idea. So kudos
Okay.
to the way they have, bringing Satya Nadella on board for a Seattle-based franchise, bringing
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians on board for New York, bringing Shah Rukh Khan on board for Los Angeles,
Los
bringing local
Angeles.
investors in America, bringing Delhi, 50% of Delhi Capitals owners, bringing them to America. It is all these people's ideas, and through their investments and through their foresight, they have at least managed to wanted to do the right things for American cricket. Is
Hmm.
American Cricket Enterprises, right?
Hmm.
They are the basically right now. If anything still gives me hope or of the right things happening in America, it is Ace. It is American
Hmm.
Cricket Enterprises, and they need to
Yeah.
take now complete control and make sure that this politics ends there, and make sure that that the patrons of this particular ecosystem, they take over the game. So to answer
Hmm.
your question, well, these are the people who have been trying to do good things,
Hmm.
and as long as these people continue to be empowered, I'm sure right things will happen. What do you think Mumbai Indians saw or Shah Rukh Khan saw in US cricket? Did he see some warring factions or cricket boards that have no future? And is that why he went to America? Is that why Mumbai Indians went to America? Is that why Satya Nadella decided to go there? No, they saw that somebody is willing to come, put a very healthy business model in place, and have a
Yeah.
futuristic idea of a T20 league. And because there's a trust in the business ideas of who these patrons are, that is why these investors have been ready to come on
Hmm.
board, right? So
Hmm.
so let's respect that, right? Instead of
Yeah.
some honorary administrator coming and ICC giving answers as they wish and not giving half the answers in the world, I don't believe in that. I'd rather believe that if somebody is putting top dollar in the spot, and to
Hmm.
kind of ensure that the sport runs well, let's support them. I am all game for it.
Yeah, let's see what happens in this Major League Cricket, because I've seen a lot many people quite excited for that league, and as league cricket is just booming up, so there's another league
Right.
to add on, and people are excited for it. But let's also come up to this conclusion from this conversation. I'm just telling this to everyone. What Srini said today, that questions are very important, and to ask questions is more important. And as cricket fans and as lovers of the sport, we need to ask right questions at the right time. I just hope, Srini, that we get the right answers as well from the concerned authorities.
We will be asking all the questions every Monday. That's for sure. Whether somebody else wants to do it or not.
Yeah, and for that, you all need to subscribe Cricket Next and to follow our this weekly show that comes every Monday, Business of Sports with KSR. Thank you so much, Srini, for joining with me in this episode. See you next week.
Bye bye. Thank you so much. Bye.
So I was joined with K. Srinivas Rao, Network 18 Group Sports Editor. We had a really fun chat and we had discussed a lot many topics earlier also in previous weeks. But today was a special episode where we discussed about how USA cricket is dealing with the sport and also what's happening with Major League Cricket. For more such details and such kind of topics, you need to follow us and you need to subscribe our channel. That's Cricket Next. So stay tuned with us. We will be there with Business of Sports every week on Monday, and you can also send your questions and your doubts in the comment section down below. So do stay connected with us, and we'll see you next Monday with the same episode, but with a very different topic. So till then, keep watching Cricket Next. QE Cricket Matlab, Cricket Next.